Ephesians 4, verse 1. It says, "Therefore I, the prisoner of the Lord, urge you to walk in a manner worthy of the calling with which you have been called." So Paul starts off the practical section of his letter with a plea. He says, I urge you. He's urging the church in Ephesus, and us by extension. And notice again, he says that he's a prisoner of the Lord. He reminds them of what we just talked about last week. He doesn't call himself a prisoner of Rome. He doesn't call himself a prisoner of the state. He calls himself a prisoner of the Lord. So again, Paul was literally in chains when he wrote this. He was literally in chains, and yet he calls himself a prisoner of the Lord. And we talked about it last week a little bit about how that's his perspective. He's not a victim of his circumstances, and he's not even a victim of the Roman government. He's exactly where God wants him to be. And just like we read last week, he even says that it was beneficial for the spread of the gospel that he was in prison because it empowered other people. But he starts off here in chapter 4, he starts off by urging believers to walk in a manner worthy of the calling with which they have been called. Walk in a manner worthy of all of that stuff that Paul says in the first 3 chapters, which is what that therefore is there for.